Good morning, everyone. Happy holiday week. Welcome to episode 1 of the BNSF San Bernardino sub. It's a project I started back in the spring, and it's taken me longer than I expected to kind of make progress, and I've sort of hit a wall here in the last couple months. So, with that in mind, I've decided to focus more on just getting videos out and less on route progress, and kind of jumping right into it. So this is a route overview from west to east, starting in downtown Los Angeles. My initial plan was to make this a multi-step route that could easily be combined, and like I said, I've kind of hit a creative wall in terms of wanting to finish it just because of all the details left. The route is in an HO scale perspective, right about 160 feet of run. So it only takes just a few minutes to run across the route. But as you can see here on the flyover, there's a number of industries and terminals that allow for a lot of different operational activities, whether you want to work the car shop here to the left, you want to serve industries off the main line, build intermodal trains, run intermodal trains, run commuter trains. There's sort of a little bit for everyone. So I said it's right around 160 feet, as you can see on the ruler. The entire duration of the route is at least triple track, and ends with the crossing of one of the man-made rivers here in Los Angeles. The primary neighborhoods composed of this route are Commerce and Montebello over in East Los Angeles, with the route starting at San Pedro Junction and then being right here at the crossing of one of the man-made rivers. Still a lot of work to do here on the east end of the route, which is what we're looking at right here. I just really can't come up with the energy to do it, mainly just because due to a lot of work, just really difficult to kind of take the time and put in the details. So when I do get the time to play the game, I really just want to operate. So here we are at San Pedro Junction. San Pedro Junction is the crossing of a small UP branch. It used to be a much bigger deal back in the 90s, but it's a small branch line that crosses the BNSF main and grade just out of Scene to the left and head towards some industries down towards Long Beach. And most importantly for this route, connection the BNSF has, one of many, with the LA Junction Railroad. So this freight train is modeled as MLAC BAR, which stands for Manifest Train from LA to Barstow, and originates on the LA Junction Yard. I really like this part of the layout because there's a couple industries out of frame to the right, as well as a small staging yard for LA Junction trains. And one of the things is that with having the turnout so slow, it just adds for this realism where if you're going to bring a train out and there's any commuter trains around, it's going to tie up the interlocking for some time. In this shot, we're here just across the way from the BNSF's Hobart Yard. It's their large intermodal terminal in Los Angeles. This is different from the Port of Long Beach. This is where they terminate all their domestic traffic, as well as their premium traffic in the LA area, so things like UPS and FedEx. There is some small international box business here, but for the majority of the traffic, it's the domestic carriers like JB Hunt Schneider, as well as a number of CSX intermodal containers, and then the higher priority containers. This is just another look, looking just east with a Metrolink train headed by on Main 2. You can see there's a set of power there in Hobart, preparing to kind of get onto its train and head east. And our MLAC BAR continues at slow speed as the rear of the train is still cutting through San Pedro Junction at 10 miles an hour. So what I want to do is kind of cover where the route stands, as well as what this is. Got, as you saw in the overview, probably about 80% of the scenery done I'm done messing with the track plan. I'm really focused on operating a lot just to make sure some of the industry work makes sense. So I've been spending a lot of time operating locals on some of the side industry tracks to make sure the turnouts aren't too tight, as well as that the switching's not overly complicated. And this is an area here, Montebello, which has a decent amount of industry traffic. It's just east of the modeled area of Commerce. And I think it's unique because there's a sound wall due to the neighborhood that's right across the way, which you can see here from this shot as a train for Long Beach heads by in the background. This is an area where it took a lot of time just putting the neighborhood together, all the signs, all the yards, all the houses. And at that time is really when I started to kind of lose some of the energy I had towards the route. And my experience has been, if you spend too much time on just one project in the game, at least I get a little bit of burnout and have to start something in parallel. And that's where I'm at now. So I'm doing some research on the next project, which I'll try and get a video out here in the next couple days with some initial track that I plan to lay here in the next 2 to 3 days. And it's kind of going to go back to a model railroad theme with a little bit of a twist, which I'll cover in that video. But the layout I'd initially planned here to be done this week of Thanksgiving, and I just really don't see that happening. So like I said at the beginning, I'll be more focused on getting videos out and less on getting the route out, as I don't want to mail it in like I did with the chili sub and not give it the attention it needed to finish up the details, especially considering the amount of time I've put into it. In this shot, we're here at Commerce, California. There's a small Metrolink commuter station. This train just made a station stop and is accelerating east towards Norwalk and Santa Fe Springs. The amount of Metrolink content that's available for free really made this route much more executable. So appreciate to those in the community who have contributed this stuff. It just adds that level of realism you need to be able to operate in this area with the right type of rolling stock. And this shot is over one of the many road crossings that the line has coming out of Los Angeles. There's not many grade crossings in this area. Most of it's above road or an over underpass situation, which helps because you're not stuck doing 12 grade crossings in a short period of time. This particular intersection has taken a long time and pretty much became the bane of my existence, but I'm glad I did it with the custom road markings, because otherwise it just wouldn't have done right and wouldn't have looked right. In this shot, we've got a train that is fresh out of Hobart and is accelerating east towards the Montebello area and then into the loop staging. You can always tell the trains from Hobart versus Long Beach because they're going to have, if you've got one JB Hunt box or one Schneider box, you know it's headed to Hobart. But it's a nice, interesting mix of international containers, domestic containers, and trailers, which is why I thought Hobart was so interesting to begin with. The interest in the route for me personally just kind of came from watching a lot of videos of Cajon Pass and then wondering, okay, well, where does this go? Where do these trains go? And ended up stumbling, as I typically do, on a YouTube channel with a ton of videos of the area. And I hadn't really done an urban area, and I sort of regret it because it's so much time, so much detail. It's not quite like the Midwest routes I did where you just put down a bunch of stuff, but in terms of greenery, a couple grade crossings, and let trains roll. So that's definitely been a challenge, but I really like operating the route, and hope to have it out here at some point in the future. But like I said, I focused on making more channel updates and more videos of not just my content but others in the community, and hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving.